morning stampers, it's Fiona here again from craftystamping.blogspot.com and welcome to another one of my masculine Mondays where I'm going to show you how to do a masculine card. There was a bit of talk about this recently on Facebook about masculine cards being drab. Well, I don't think so, and I think even if you use dark colours, they're not drab, they're neutral, or they're still wonderful. But anyway, stop waffling, Fiona. I'm going to do a colour block technique today. It's not a new technique, it's been around for a long time, but I haven't seen it around being used for a while, so I thought I'd give it back some life. And basically it's using up the old scraps of cardstock that we have, or you could use DSP. I'm just using cardstock today, and I've gone with lots of different blues, and I'm using the Totaly trees. So let's get going. So first of all, I'm using mint macaron as my card base, and I have some Whisper White, which is cut by 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. I think all the measurements will be on my blog. And basically, I've just got myself some strips of cardstock, which, you know, if you're anything like me, you have buckets and buckets of them and you don't want to throw them out. And I've gone with the blues. So I have here Bermuda Bay, mint macaron, which is the same as our base, tempting turquoise, oops, that way around, tempting turquoise, soft sky, and island indigo, one of my favourites. So this is basically just gluing our sticks on. You can put them any which way you like. This obviously there's no right or wrong, and you can have them any size you like, widthwise, as much as you want. And I've just done them a little bit bigger than the cardstock that I've got as my base, and then we're just going to trim the sides. That just makes it easier, so you don't have to make sure that you're getting it all sort of fiddly. And you can, I haven't got one of those snazzy little glue machines where you could put that paper through and get it all sticky. So I'm just going to use my snail. You could use double-sided tape as well if you want, but the snail is just as good, or fast fuse, whichever you like. Just butt those up. You know, there's no right or wrong. Yes, I'll put that one next because I want a sort of paler one down the bottom so I can put my sentiment on, if that makes sense. Let's move that over a little bit more. There we go. Now on my Wednesday's video, we'll be showing you a slightly different version of the colour block theme. So pop back on Wednesday and I'll show you what else we can do with the colour block. So there we are. There's our blocks of paper. Just going to bring in the Stampin trimmer. If you don't have one of these, they are just such a wonderful investment. And as you can see, I don't waste any cardstock. So this is card I didn't use, so I'm just using the back of it. It's going to be covered and on the back of my card. So we don't waste anything, do we? And that way we get the most out of our supplies. Let's see how easy that looks. You know, you could even try and find a use for those little bits if needs be. They look like flags, don't they? Anyway, marching on. So there's our basis. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some embossing. This is going to be a little bit tricky because my heating tool doesn't quite reach where I'm filming. But if you bear with me, I'll quickly just try and do the embossing. But at least you can see where we're going with this. Now, Totaly trees. I'm going to do the same pattern as I've done here, which is 2 round ones and the big tall one in the middle. I'm going to do the tall one first, and I'm using rich raspberry for this because I thought that would be a nice contrast, and I love the colour. So, you know, there you go. So obviously you can do this in any colour you like, any colour you like. So I'm going to just pop that one up there. There you go, that's a real dark colour, isn't it? And then for the circle ones, I'm going to use, what can I use it? Oh, Island Indigo. Just nearly forgot what I was doing there. So let's just stamp those as well. Pop that down there. And pop that down there. There you go. Just going to give those a few seconds to dry. Let's just take that off the pad before I put my embossing powder on. Now I need, yeah, that one. Because we don't want the embossing powder to go over all of that ink that I've just done. So we're going to use our embossing buddy just to take off, just to make sure that we don't emboss onto that ink. So just dab over that. There we go. And now we're going to use our Versamark. This is one of my Versamarks. I just wanted to show you it because sometimes they do get discoloured over time, but they still work. I do have a clean one as well for demonstrating purposes. But I'm just going to show you this one just to let you know that, you know, some people think, I can't use it anymore. You can use it, they're fine. So I'm just going to, with the Versamark, pop that on there. Let's take that one off, and I'm going to use the flowery leaves for this one as well. Same thing, Versamark. And then it was the tall one, wasn't it? We'll have this one, shall we? No, we'll have the bubbly one. Make it look, because we're coming into spring, so make it look as though we're going to have a few leaves on here. There we go. Now I'm just going to get a scrap piece of paper and my copper embossing powder. And now, because we've put that Versamark on, not the Versamark, sorry, the embossing buddy, this copper powder should only stick where we want it to, which will be the indentation of those of the flowery bits, and not the actual circles themselves. There we go, shake that off. I used to have one of those little plastic popper shakery things, but don't know where that's gone. I think I lost it in a house move sometime. So now it's just back down to paper. So if you bear with me, I am just going to pop over and heat emboss this with my heating tool. Make sure when you're using your heating tool you don't get too close to your paper. Let it heat a little bit before you do start to emboss, and then the magic appears. And heat embossing is great for workshops because people just love seeing it shine. And it doesn't take long. Once your heating tool is hot, you know, don't use a hairdryer because they are just too hot, and you might burn yourselves as well, which is not really what you want to do. So now that that's done, that's all heat embossed and shiny, and the copper just looks so pretty. It has lifted a little bit there, so I need to just go back and put a little bit more glue on there. And I've just got a bit of pear pizzazz here, because I just want to do that little bit of grass that you see at the bottom. In case you didn't know what it was, it's this. I don't think you can see that. It's that tiny little stamp there. So cute, and it's grass. I'm just going to put it on this big block. It should be on the smaller one really, but just dab a little bit of the grass along, just so that the trees don't look as though they're floating in midair. You could emboss this as well if you wish, but for the purposes of this video, so you're not listening to a hairdryer embossing tool going, we won't bother with that. There we are. Now that is also then going to go with I'm going to put just a little bit of ribbon on it. I know it's a man card, but you can still do a little bit of ribbon. And this is the mint macaron sheer linen ribbon. So just going to cut a little bit of that off. Scissors are here, promise you. Here you go. And just do a strip of the snail along there. That just finishes off that little edge really, doesn't it? There we go. Attach it to the back. Like so. Just let that dry off a little bit. And then we're going to do our greeting underneath. And I'm going to use the Rich Raspberry again. And I've got the greeting from Wetlands. I'm just going to do birthday greetings, which is quite straightforward. Nothing too fancy. Let's pop my little one, my grass back. So, sorry about that, that was my clock going bong. Now once we've finished that, we're just going to mount it onto another piece of white cardstock, just to make it show up against the mint macaron. There we go, like so. Just stamp our greeting. Make sure it's the right way up. You could put this on a, you know, on a label or a punch out, one of the punches. Let's just pop that on there for now. There we go. This will be such a lovely colour, isn't it? Oh, I do love it. There we go. And then that's going to go onto our cardstock. I love this mint macaron, and I'm so sad that it's going to be going in May because it's one of the in colours that's had its 2 years. So maybe I should start using up all my supplies. So there we have it. There's the 2 cards. I just used slightly different ribbon, and that's the colour block card technique. And as I say, if you pop along on Wednesday to my video channel, I'll show you a different style of card block using the same card block system, but just doing it slightly different. So lovely, thank you very much, and don't forget, if you subscribe to my channel, you have a chance of winning that month's projects. I'll send them to anywhere in the world. Just pop back on the 1st of March to see if you've been lucky. Thanks very much, bye.